All right, what's going on, everyone? This is Courtney Rollins with Aqua Team Home Buyers out here in Baltimore, Maryland. Folks haven't joined the YouTube or seen our page before. I'm with Aqua Team. I'm one of the other halves. My better half is Shanita Melvin. We started this company about 2 years ago, looking at real estate as the way that we can build generational wealth. I do this part-time. Well, it's actually still full-time, but I have a full-time job as a director of diversity, equity, inclusion at a wonderful independent school. But it didn't take long for me to realize, once my partner, who's my fiance, came into the picture, that if I wanted to build generational wealth, that fighting for equity, I also needed equity. So, like many folks, ran to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, ran into Think and Grow Rich, and tons of other wonderful literature and information out there that just kept pressing, pushing real estate as a foundational way to build assets. And really, even after that, we continued to struggle trying to figure that out. I was like the dog who caught the cat, was able to acquire 2 rehabs that have been kicking my butt. And it wasn't until about a year ago that we decided to focus on wholesaling as a strategy for building wealth. And wholesaling, all it really is outsourcing discounted properties and creating opportunities for other investors, solving sellers' problems and creating opportunities for other investors. And it wasn't really until 3 months into wholesaling where I joined the TTP program. Shout out to Brent Daniels, that allowed me to really gain the skills and tools I needed, or we needed, to be able to actually see progress. I still remember to this day using the Think and Grow Rich strategy, claiming, hey, by June 2020, I'm going to have 3 deals closed with $30,000 in. And on June 30th, landed the 3rd deal and $30,000 came in. Continued to sit out the affirmations and said by December 15th, we're going to have 15 deals closed with $110,000 in. Glory be, the exact same thing happened. And ever since then, we continue to work, maybe closed about 27 deals in the last 9 months and over 130, 135 in revenue that's come straight to us through assignments. And that's not even counting the amount we've had to JV or joint venture and partner with other folks. We're proud of it, but we know we're still growing. We know we can have stronger numbers by learning from other folks. We don't claim to be gurus, but as we continue to do this work, many people asked us, can we help or advise or share? So we decided one of the best ways for us to continue to learn is to share and grow. And that's where these two wonderful folks here came in. Crystal's been with us for the last about 4 or 5 weeks in our intern program we created. And Kayla's one of our newer members starting off today. So they've been kind enough to allow me to record our progress and share it with the world. So we're open books right here. So Crystal, you got anything you want to share and say?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to even be in the internship. I've learned quite a lot just within the last 4 or 5 weeks. Um, this is a patience game. One thing that I have learned, you have to be very patient. Some weeks aren't as good as others, but it is a learning wheel, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, I appreciate you. I feel indebted to you, both of y'all, for even entrusting us and helping you along your journey. There's plenty of information out there, amazing people out there, and for you all to allow us to share is awesome. So thank you. What about you, Kayla? How you doing? What's going on? You want to tell people who you are?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, so like Courtney just said, I am new in the real estate game. And I'm basically here just to, help Courtney business grow. And at the same time, I'm growing as well because I'm learning new skills and new tricks in the real estate industry. So it's going to be a good experience.
Well, it sounds like you already got a great attitude. What they say, Zig Ziglar say, to get what you want, help other people get what they want in the world. So sounds like you got a great attitude there. So we're gonna start off because I'm so excited. Crystal has been doing great on the phone, and she has a hot lead that she's going her first seller's appointment this weekend. So you want to tell folks a little bit about the lead?
Yeah, this lead. Well, when I called him, he pretty much was throwing the property at me. Because I called, pretty much was just telling him, hey, we'll be considering off on your property. And he was like, sure, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Without me really having to really do too much. He told me pretty much about his tenant that's there, said pretty much some choice words and how he described the property. Um, but he pretty much threw the property at me. So I get to go and look at it this weekend on Saturday.
Well, that's not always going to happen. These lay down, and again, we're not saying that we still got to do the work to get the contract and all that good stuff. But that's because you've been putting in the time and the hours. You will find those folks where, hey, I have an issue, I need it solved, and you can step in and solve it. And you can't do it unless you put in the numbers and the time. Just like you said, it can be a grind. It can be a grind, but it will work if you do. Just like Brent Daniel says. And today, what I want to focus on is what you do at this seller appointment. All right. And again, none of the stuff I'm sharing is like coming from my mind. I'm just borrowing, stealing from folks who have shared with me and still learning. So Todd Toback had this great conversation on how and what to do at the seller's appointment. And based on some of my, recent experience in the conversation I had with, or the, not the conversation, but listening to his podcast, this is what I wanted to share with you today, Crystal and Kayla. I hope you grow and learn from it as well. So, what to do at the sales appointment? You seem like you got a hot deal. You're about to walk them there. Main thing I want you to focus on is make sure you get there at least 15 minutes early. All right, you're gonna get there 15 minutes early. You're not gonna park right out in front, so you're like the weirdo or whatnot. But park down the street so that you're there 15 minutes early. As far as dress is concerned, I wish you had an Aqua Team shirt. Maybe I'd just shoot one to you, but I doubt it'd get there in time. But regardless, you dress casual. You don't want to look too pretentious, but you also want to look like, you're walking in with that confidence and certainty that you can buy the property. But you're not walking in there with that hungry energy like, I need the property. But the things you need to be is, certain, competent, and likable. So you're sitting there the first 15 minutes down the road, and just visualizing a great, confident conversation taking place where you're listening and being there just to listen and serve the seller, truly serve him and try to solve his problem. All right. Next thing you want to do is, my mama's giving me a call. This is a live show. Can't talk to you right now, mama. Hey, my mom is actually, she's awesome. Shout out to Cleo Rollins. She is actually my inbound caller. So inbound call receptionist. So when someone calls, she picks up the phone and takes them. Let me let her know that I can't chat right now. We are live. She might have a hot deal. Shoot. She didn't call me 3 times. I might need to stop and see what's going on, but we'll keep going though. All right, so when you get there, you're exuding confidence, certainty, competency, and likability while still being humble. And you're going to show up and be there right on time. And if it's 11 o'clock, knock on the door right at 11 o'clock. Of course, you step in, wipe your feet, all that stuff, show respect. Sounds like there's going to be a tenant there for you. So, you've been respectful to everyone there, obviously. And then you want to ask, hey, well, can you show me, take me on a tour of your property, right? And during that time, it's not really about the property. You're there to build rapport. And here are 3 levels of building rapport. A lot of people, when we talk about building rapport, assume it means like, you like potatoes, I like potatoes. You like apples, I like apples. But it's a little deeper than that. And the psychology behind that is that just as humans, we connect to people that we, feel like we have something in common with. Oh, you like the same college team? Oh, but that's cool. We're from the same hometown. It's the way our brains have developed over time. And so there's 3 levels to rapport. One being actually establish a connection. So you're building a connection, listening to them. You're building a connection with them by listening to something that they have, something that they're interested in, and seeing how you can connect to that in a natural way. The second level, though, is to allow them to teach you something. So let's say, for instance, they like gardens and stuff. Oh, well, cool. I've been interested in gardening for a while. That's really cool that you enjoy gardening. Tell me more about that. And then that second level, teach me about, have them teach you how a certain technique on how to fix it. I don't know nothing about gardening, but how to do something with the gardening, So they teach you. The third level, which is pretty awesome, is that they give you something. All right, have them, okay, here, I want to give you this seeds or these plants or this technique for cultivating or I'm running with that metaphor, but it's a terrible metaphor. Obviously, I know nothing about gardening. But the point is 3 levels. Make a connection, have them teach you something, and then have them give you something. great example of this. I've walked away where people have given me like this gentleman had a power plug that he loves technology, and so I was asking about some of the benefits of technology that, or some of the things he really enjoyed using, and he was like, "Hey, this power bar is so awesome; it allows me to do so many things." I was like, "Oh, cool! Well, I've seen those before, but I haven't been able to have one. How does it work? How do you charge it up? All this different stuff I'm asking him." And then at the end, he wants to give me his power bar. So I was like, "Well, I really don't want to accept it." But he was assistant, so I took it and I said, "Hey, next time we connect, I'll make sure I give this back to you, because I think my cell phone charge was going down or something like that." So we were just having a natural conversation. So throughout that time, he's also showing you parts of the property. You may see stuff that like needs repair or something. You don't need to comment on it. Perhaps you could like take a picture and take notes. In fact, as you're walking through, you will want a notepad and taking notes on things that you're seeing and stuff that he's saying, because you want to show that you're being responsive. If he or they ask you why, you say, "I just want to make sure that I have, all the notes so that I can, figure out the best tools in our tool belt to help you with your situation." All right. Then after that's all said and done, you've gone on tour, you continue to build rapport throughout. That never stops. And you're taking notes on what their issues or what their problems are. Then you ask, okay, it's time to ask 3 really important questions. And you can ask them in various ways. One is, so what's the future look like for you after we close this deal, or if we agree on terms? So what are they going to do with what do they need? What do they want to do with the funds? What do they want to do with the transaction? And that's really going to help you dig into, again, their motivation, their pain points, and how you might be able to help. And then you're going to ask, all right, what would you like to happen between now and closing? And they may say a lot of things. He may say, I need my tenant to stay in here, or I really need help with moving packages, or I just need somebody who can communicate with me. Whatever it is, you're just being able to listen. So again, you can respond to what their needs are. Another question is, what's most important to you? That's kind of a variation of those 2 questions. So they can find out if closing fast is important to you, is like doing it as is without any, closing costs is important to you. And you get to pull that out and extract that. And again, that's another reason why I don't put out like, hey, we can close as is, we can do all this stuff early, because maybe that's not what they really want or what they need. Or when they have an issue and I can show that I responded to it, it's stronger to show, oh, I'm responding to your pain with a solution to your pain. And it just, again, it builds rapport and competency, as opposed to me putting it out there before they've asked for it. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know I said 3 questions, but the last one is, okay, y'all agreed to, okay, all right, now we decided this is what you need. So it sounds like, and you're reading back to them, sounds like you need to close fast, you need your tenant to stay in here, you need this or that, and you need it here. And so what does that look like for you? What's the, what price range what does that sound, what do you need that at, Well, all the different variations of way of asking them for the price. And once you figure that out, you're always figuring out, okay, and if I can come up to that price, especially if the price is reasonable, what will be the next steps? Again, well, we can sign right now. All right. And since you already will know whether or not you can do the deal or not, you may be able to say, hey, all right, I'm not the buyer for you at that price at 180, but I can see if my team has people out there who can support, find a buyer for you in our network, or we can see if we're able to, if there's other ways to support you, but it doesn't look like I'm the buyer at that price if they're asking for an unreasonable price. Or we're not the buyer at this price, but I know we could respond to your fill in the bank pain at 135, around 135, 140. What does that sound like? And you just hush and you allow them to respond. And let's say you all agree on the terms again. You're going to say, okay, sounds good. Sounds like we're in agreement. So what's next? All right, let's sign the papers. Awesome, cool. I'll send you the paper to you. Well, I think I have an agreement. You never say contract, because some people are weary of the word contract. But I think I have an agreement in my car. Let me go and fill out the necessary information and bring it back to you. and review it for you. And then you go over the contract with them, which is pretty simple, 2-pager. That says as is, we pay all the closing costs, has the closing date, all that stuff, the price up there, and you have them sign it, and then you'll screenshot it, take pictures of it, and leave it with him, and email it to me, or when you're doing this on your own, or to the title company. And let me back up one other thing too. Let's say the price is, you're still negotiating. One technique you can use, and particularly you can use this weekend, Crystal, is whatever the price is, especially if it sounds like something that's reasonable, or even if it's not, well, let me see if I can get that approved. Let's see if we can get that approved, because you're on his team. Collaboration is the highest form of rapport. Let's see if we can get this approved, and then you can give me a call, literally, and we can talk about it, and we can find out if that's the number, if that number works for us, or what options we can give them, right? But you don't have to necessarily have somebody. I've spent so many times where I'm calling Shanita, or she's not there, or I'm just going out to my car and just spending 5 minutes waiting, knowing that either the price is good or knowing when I'll come back in. But you want to give some time in between. You want to be a reluctant buyer, working with them to get the price that they want, or get the price that makes sense for everybody involved. All right. And so after that, if you all agree, you signed it. I've already went over that. You turn it in, and then you're like, okay, well, now can you mind if I just go through the house again? I'm going to take pictures and get videos so I can send it to my team, so we can set up a time to, so we can prepare what we need to prepare on our end. And someone on our team will contact you to set up another time for either our contractors or our partners to come back in. So you make sure you have everything signed and everything beforehand, so that you're not clouding them with too much information. But after it's signed it in, okay, now I'm gonna take pictures and videos. And also someone will call you later on. The title company will call you later on to set up a closing, and someone on my team will call you later on so that our contractors and partners can get out here to see what work needs to be done. That opens up the door for when I have to show it later on to the buyers, right? And if I'm showing it to contractors to see what the issue is. And it lets them know that, hey, title, this is rocking and rolling. We're going to be closing. And you can ask them, if you have any questions, please let me know. Holler at me. It's been great chatting with you. All right, we're rocking and rolling. And then, you got the contract and you're rocking and rolling. Are there any questions from, either of you, or any questions at all?
No, not from me. Not at the time.
So I know I got your mechanic, or not mechanic, but your contractor coming out with me.
Yeah.
So how does that work with him being there?
Well, I'm doing that more for the comfort level of, just, going to a strange house and all that stuff and all. Mr. Robert, he is a saint. He is, oh man, he's an awesome person. He can do so many jobs and all. But to be quite honest, I'm not sure what that's going to exactly look like, because looks like my headset died. Let's see. Because I haven't really talked to Mr. Robert about sales training or anything like that, but you can just let him know that, hey, Mr. Robert here, he's working with me. Just want to make sure that we're looking at right items and stuff like that. And I'll talk to Mr. Robert about what you're there for and all that stuff. And actually, it'll be really good, because he's really good at building rapport too. So